So, I think Rogue Sun's actually the best title in the Massiveverse now.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right.
Welcome to the roguesun podcast. That's right, it's not the glasses and beard hour like you might think. It's actually the roguesun podcast, joined by the great Bash. How's it going, Bash?
Oh, hey, I'm good, thanks. I'm excited to talk Rogue Sun. It feels like we talked about this before on the Radiant Black podcast. It's been like a minute since we've had like the Massiveverse, really back in full effect. And after the NYCC announcements with Moonman and everything, I'm very excited to get into this. Ryan Parrott, the great, and Abel and Marco Ren and everyone, and Becca and Natalia, they did something special with this issue. Can't wait to talk about it.
Hell yeah. And of course, we're also joined by the incomparable Ali. How's it going, dude?
It's going great. Kind of like Bash. I'm super excited to get back into it. We had Dead Lucky a few weeks ago, and that was pretty good to catch up on that. And then now finally we're getting Rogue Sun this week. One of the best issues in the series so far, in my opinion. And then we got Radiant Black again next week. So it's just exciting to get everything, back on track.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we're the demons that just escaped the jewelry store, right? And like we can finally like have fun here because like this was a wild issue. I think this might have been the Massiveverse issue with the most going on. Period. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, guys, if you want to keep up with everything Massiverse related, including obviously Rogue Sun, please follow us at Rogue Sun Podcast on Instagram. Like and subscribe at Rogue Sun Podcast on YouTube. We really appreciate it. It helps us a lot. It helps us spread and grow the word. And of course, talk about how awesome Rogue Sun is so we can get more people in on the fiery goodness. But let's talk about our latest issue today, Rogue Sun number 16. And here I put these wonderful slides. Obviously, the cropping could do some work, but we'll get to that later. Yeah, you got the cover on the right by, I want to say it's Abel and Marco Rena, and then the cover on the left by Carly AF. So, yeah, guys. Of course, we've got the creative team, Rogue Sun 16 by Brian Parrott, Abel, Marco Rena, Natalia Marquez on the colors, and Becca Carey. One thing I was telling the guys is that we're so spoiled that we have Marcelo Costa and Eduardo Fregato on Radiant Black, and then we like that an amazing artistic duo, and then we have the incredible artistic duo of Abel and Marco Ren on Rogue Sun. Like that's just crazy every time I think about it. We're so spoiled.
Yeah, and I was saying off air, like for me, to the untrained eye, like it's hard to tell which is Marco and which is Abel. They managed to just really emulate each other, and it's just maintain the vision of the book, and that's the perfect job when you have a fill-in artist, if you ask me.
Definitely, it's seamless, the transitions between them, and like from our conversations with Eduardo before, like they know they're working with each other and they talk to each other, right? So they both try to kind of emulate each other's art, so it's not so jarring switching from issue to issue. Also, I think Lana Vecchio did cover A, and then Carly did cover B.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Lana Vecchio,
so. Good call. Yeah. No, okay, good correction. It's been a long day. Yeah, so in the third slide, obviously we're gonna get ahead in the story here, but we open up last issue with the release of not all, but many of the inmates from the Perrine Jewelry Crystals or Jewelry Shop, I forget, Perrine Jewels, but yeah, the store where Dottie keeps all the inmates and the supernatural inmates, of course. We saw them have a therapy session before. Yeah. So this is Killswitch talking to Sharon, and they get interrupted by Caleb, Rogue Sun. Obviously, we have also Reverend Death present, and what's her name? Lady Calamity, and then of course Lord Viathan. And we have this amazing moment that we were talking about backstage, as before he can even get it's crazy, even interrupted and everything. Like Caleb's trying to get the word out just to explain what's going on contextually, and this alienator dude, once he hears that that Caleb has no intention of putting them back in, he just bails right away. And I was thinking, these guys, isn't that like the moment from Invincible where Battle Beast is like, "This is beneath me," and he just So exactly. I love those vibes. What do you guys think? We're gonna see more Alienator in the future?
I hope so. Kind of. I hope it plays exactly like the Battle Beast arc. He goes away, we don't hear from him for a while, and then he comes back and just fucks shit up.
Yeah, that's what we want. It's like a big bad, a tough like SOB that you want in a video game. You want Mortal Kombat. You want to see them unleash an alien editor, right? It's like the name is like a fusion of Alien and Predator, and we just want a beast is going to unleash whatever hell he can, and like he does. Battle like it was amazing. It's what you could want. Like we had a bevy of cool villains in this. I mean, we can't even skip over Kill Switch. I mean, that's a badass name on top of it. Like my mind's blown. I'm like the Marcus fan, the Bell family. I don't know how to handle all these amazing characters that we have to deal with.
I love the designs, man. It really feels like Ryan should be proud of himself because not only is this an incredible book in this particular issue, one of the best in my opinion, and we'll talk about more on that later, but I think this book already feels like a true image universe comic that feels like lived in, it feels like a Savage Dragon or Spawn, where it's like, here's this super identifiable, well-defined character, and here's like all these really cool villains that fit so aptly. Like look at these designs. Look at the freaking quote on Kill Switch, and like I love that he's like stingy about anyone getting blood or anything on it. You know what I mean? He's just like, oh, gut them. So there's so much character to them, even in the few panels that they've been in. You know,
you can see on the top left, he's a big Smash Bros. Fan. He's got the logo on his face. No, but this was a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of new characters drawn, and a lot of like new ones that aren't as common. So many different rogue suns to differentiate, and I managed not to get lost in the shuffle, which was really impressive. Like every page tells like a new story. There's so much happening, so much to cover.
I want to add to I'm kind of glad they gave Charon a little moment in the sun, because before this we just saw him getting beat up by Marcus. So it was nice to get a little taste of what he can really do.
Yeah, and I like this book a lot because this and this particular issue, because it shows us that this is a perfect example of creators that are perfectly in sync. I think the storytelling, like Matt said, there's so much being told very efficiently throughout these pages without like feeling like it's being, like it's rushing. I think this issue is perfectly paced, all things considered, because we had to build up over several issues and 2 arcs to get here, and it's been a fantastic journey. And this feels like a good payoff for the end of the arc issue. Or if it's not, I think maybe next issue is the end of the arc. But either way, this feels like a good payoff so far of everything that's happened, because, yeah, you can see the alliance is being forged. Caleb is showing them that he's allied with
Morningstar.
Morningstar, right? Morningstar. And I really love the panel, like the storytelling in these panels. It's not just the writing that's incredible and efficient, but it's also like, again, they're all in sync. So you can see the visuals are doing a very good job of conveying everything very quickly. I love this particular panel here on the bottom where you just see everyone's face. Like, you know what? It's almost like a Suicide Squad scenario. Like, you know what? Like, sounds good to me. Like, let's go.
It's the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, and they don't look same-ish, right? Like I think Matt said a long time ago, he was like, I hope we get more variety of villainry in the Massiveverse early in the early Radiant Black days, like the first like 15 issues, because we had a lot of guys just basically with futuristic tech, looked very similar or had ninja swords. But here it's like, there's so much character to these. Like when you look at that bottom panel, you can see like they're all super different. It reminds me a lot of Invincible, man. Like a lot. Like you remember like the early day, yeah. So just I love that in like the best way. So
what do you guys think about the mark? He's carrying the mark of Morningstar. Like, how do you think that does it look permanent? Because it's obviously different. Every other mark we've seen is like on someone's face. It's like an imprint. This is right on like the Rogue Sun like chest core. I'm wondering if that's something that can be whisked away, or if that's going to be permanent or not, either to differentiate Caleb Rogue Sun going forward, or who knows? What do you guys think?
That's a good
I'm
question.
not sure.
I wonder if
got
it
me
shows
thinking
on his skin. Yeah.
Well, it got me thinking: is it to the suit? Is it to Caleb? Is it to Dylan's body? Like when Dylan comes back, is he's still gonna have the mark? I don't know.
That's
that's what I
interesting.
meant. Yeah. Sorry.
There's a lot of implications, and this is just one panel. We have so much to talk about. We can't even dwell on this for that long, realistically.
This is literally just the second page, and then this is the third. It gets this issue's just like there's not a single dull moment or dull panel. It's just amazing. Just and from this splash page alone, my favorite part of it is actually the background where you see like the I don't know what you call it, like drawings of all the old Rogue Suns up there. That's so cool.
Yeah,
we need a
like
Samurai Rogue Sun though. Land of the Rising Sun. Come on,
right.
we need a Samurai Rogue Sun. I've said it before. That's got to be coming. But yeah,
it's right
the backgrounds
there.
are amazing. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
the backgrounds are amazing.
Yeah, we got like the storytelling on the walls, kind of like almost like hieroglyphics or right, like just sequential. Early comic books, you can say. Rogue Sun's developed the earliest form of comic books, of course. Statues behind them, Marcus kind of on his knees. This is just a gorgeous shot, to be honest. And we were discussing like what everyone thinks about the distribution of Marco Renna and Abel artwork in this book, particularly. Like, do we think they worked on pages together. I obviously think they're separate pages. My theory is that all the pages in this realm are Marco Renna, and then the pages in the other place are Abel. But it's really hard to tell because, like the guy said, they're in such good sync together and they work so fantastically. Like, honestly, the artwork in this book is fantastic. Like, truly, this page was a very memorable one, and I'm sad that we don't like sell out these printings anymore, because if we can get a second printing with these on the cover,
Right.
I'll tell you guys.
Right. There. I feel like eventually, two things. I feel like this is not the last we're gonna see of the older roguesuns, because at some point in time, Dylan is gonna learn how to go inside the roguesun. I feel like they're gonna resurface. And two, I feel like eventually we're gonna get some cool covers with the different roguesuns.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I was thinking, I had that in my mind too. Like we need individual covers. When you have designs like these, they're born for covers. Like they need to be on there. That's a good call.
Yeah, a good call indeed. So yeah, like in the story, lots is happening. We see that the rogue sons, the rogue guardians of the sun, within the Sunstone, I guess you can say, are they took Owen's bait, which last issue we saw he betrayed his grandson and gave him to the guys. So now they're planning on what to do. They're telling Marcus that they're gonna need the boy. So yeah, they plan on taking him. That's where Owen shows us that he's a scoundrel, and he knocks down Marcus, his own kid, even further, and he says, "You're too much like your mother." This is funny because we talked about last issue whether we think he was planning like a double crossing, or whether he was just a bastard, and I think most of us said that he was double crossing. We're like, he's a bastard, but there's no way he's that much of a bastard. And
Right.
obviously we're beginning to find out the answer of that. So we'll see how that develops over the issue. And in the next page, we're back with the Bell family. But I just want to say before we move on, actually no, this is a better question for the end of the episode, because I think it makes more sense after, because there's some developments. So back to the Bell estate. We're with the family, and I really like this scene a lot because I feel like it's one of the first completely honest kind of conversations they have in the household, because the situation demands it. So it's like you really see how everyone comes into play in a crisis mode.
Yeah.
Usually everyone is like they're scheming or they have their own plans, but here it's like, no, everyone's like as honest as they can be.
And there's no time to like be nice and whatever. You're thinking, no, my kids are in jeopardy and stuff like that. Everyone's got their own motivation, and like Dottie's obviously in dire straits. And I like that they discussed this. Like, of course, that was going to happen with all the people stored in one place. Like, it's a lot of like common concerns of like, hey, idea, like it's a difference of ideals and stuff like that that really come out to play. And like, hey, I got to save my kids. This is my plan. You go your way, or we could have these awesome charms.
I'm honestly still disappointed in Juliet that she didn't see this coming. Like at one point, Caleb stopped really trying to hide that he's in Dylan's body. I'm just still surprised she never saw it coming. But let me tell you, this panel you have on the screen right now, that's probably Dottie's like coolest panel in the book so far. We always knew she had something up her sleeve, but she's a true badass. And this is also she might what?
She might have one cooler one later in this issue, but yeah, it's definitely
right.
up there.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, this is a callback to last episode, last issue actually, where we saw her take a few, and I believe we mentioned like we kind of speculate on who the crystal she stole could be.
Exactly. So yeah, now that they decide that they have a plan, they're going to do something about it. Obviously, they can't just abandon Dylan. So Dottie has a plan, and we're going to see a little bit more of that plan later on. But on to the next part of the...
Oh, sorry, I just do like Brock saying like maybe he's just killing all the locked up bad guys. Like just like Caleb's like, that's okay. Like you can see how like kind of like, okay, we gotta keep an eye on him. And Juliet, in her defense, raising 3 teenagers around teenage age has got to be super stressful. So I can admit like one slip up. But yeah, I agree.
I'll take
not her best moment for sure.
Yeah. So on to more human matters. We are with Byron Fletcher and Amanda Ferris at the Jazz Festival, where she is judging him immensely for having never enjoyed jazz really, but I'm getting a feeling that he's going to start liking jazz a little bit more. She lets it slip here. Really funny line. I was talking about I'm super invested in the drama of this because Byron and Amanda are such compelling characters amongst all the supernatural chaos. But because Byron, I don't have a lot of rules, but anyone I'm dating has to like spicy foods, open car doors, That's weird. And most importantly, love Jazz.
Yeah,
and then
I
he
didn't
says,
get that. What does she mean by open car doors?
I don't know.
Jeeps
She's
not the car
Egypt.
door? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Open the door for you to let you out and be a gentleman. You know, the old timey. You know.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay,
That
okay,
makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah. That
I
makes a
get
lot
it.
of
Yeah.
sense now. I get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
He says, I'm sorry, did you say dating? A very adorable panel. So great artwork by Marco and Abel. I'm not sure who did this particular page. I want to say it's Abel. But yeah.
I just
And then
picture you guys' dates like banging on the window trying to get on the David Doll.
he says, I thought you already had a boyfriend. And she replies, yeah, well, apparently college David is so mature he can't possibly date high school Amanda anymore. So he's, and then Byron replies, very startled, a monster. And then she was going to say, I was going to say asshole, but, and he's like, no, no, really, a monster. And that's where we see Reverend Death descend from the sky. And dude, this Reverend Death dude is creepy as hell. Like, you knew the moment this issue began with Caleb asking for him in particular, handpicking him almost that he was here for the plan. And his plan, as we've seen, teased in the first issue of this comic book in a tiny vision, as we've seen on the issue on the cover of this issue, that zombies are rising as Reverend Death literally raises the dead. What did you guys think of this? I fucking love this.
Absolutely.
It was awesome, and I realized why they had to do the zombies now, because it doesn't give too much away, because there's so much that happened in this issue that if you put on the cover, it might spoil like what's happening. Like you can't put like, you know, our new Shazam family on there or whatever. So it was a good safe thing that was part of the issue, but it was just like almost like a panel. So much happened that it's hard to focus on it. But like this was awesome. You don't want to go to Jazz Fest and then realize the undead are coming to get you. That's the worst thing that could happen. So not ideal at all. And I love the designs of the villain, like looking like a priest necromancer or something like that. Like it's everything I want in supernatural stuff. It's like everything. We play the hits and they never miss.
Dude, he looks like a Resident Evil boss. Like I love it. Like it just looks great. Like I'm all for it, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yeah, so this was a big moment in the book. I want to say, like, one of the best things about this book in particular, like we said, there's a lot of setup in the previous two arcs, teasing, building, scheming, background crumbs that are laid, and so this issue felt like massive payoff. It felt really rewarding for us fans and readers. Feels like a lot of things we talked about are finally beginning to happen, things we might have speculated we were wrong about, things we were right about. It's really exciting, and this is why we said earlier on it might be the best Massiveverse book right now, because we think in the last 6 months, last 5-6 issues, roguesun has really just done the best. Like Ryan Parrott has expertly laid several storytelling crumbs throughout the early issues and really delivered on them in a large way, while simultaneously also planting more seeds for the future. We saw this in roguesun #1, where he put several and then delivered on them several times. Teased them very slowly. We like there's so many cool things. Raven Queen, the zombies. I'm pretty sure there's several. The key that was in Supermassive. And then we saw issue #7, which was both experimental because they did the pick your own adventure and they planted several more seeds there. We still haven't seen Time Falcon.
No.
So I was just saying, yeah.
But we're still harvesting a lot of crops. A lot of seeds have been planted. We're getting to see the benefits in just 16 issues. It's really impressive.
Mm-hmm. And then we have the 13 villains in 12 issues. That's better than 6 seasons in a movie. I'm just saying, like that's insane. Like that, and then we have even more villains because we got some more. And I'm not gonna spoil that just yet. But what Ryan's doing again, and I'm emphasizing that they're not just throwaway villains, but they have so much character to them. Even though if some of them only have very few panels, there's so much awesomeness happening. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the roguesun #1 splash page of the visions, right? And I think we've seen everything right now because I see Billy, I see Finnegan Roots, I see Raven Queen, the zombies. And is that, I don't know if you can see it or you remember, but there's a key there. Is that the same key from Supermassive?
That's the Supermassive. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we've pretty much seen everything here then. Except maybe the rose. It looks like a burning rose or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So he's delivered. Yeah, and then we've seen roguesun. There's a 7. There's several storytelling things planted. And I'm sure there's even more in the previous few issues that we haven't picked up on because we haven't really done a reread. So now with the end of the arc, I'm assuming it's this issue or the next. We'll have time to do another reread and obviously do another analysis and talk about it. But as far as this issue goes, so much.
Right.
No, seriously, we got to see his backstory as well in just 2 pages, like jam packed.
Right. Yeah, so awesome. Awesome's awesome because that's great. Alliteration, awesome. Baby. Oh yeah, let's go. Rogue alliteration. So yeah, Awesome's awesome because he we get his backstory here, and it's very interesting. But first of all, look at this dude. Let's appreciate some of the visuals as we were talking about earlier. The artwork's incredible. This is in a flashback to the ancient Egypt times. Apparently, in the year 27 BC, he was devoted to protecting Egypt and in particular their goddess Cleopatra. So he was literally Cleopatra's rogue son, which is super cool. But obviously, he died trying to save her, and he's been ashamed of it. And he's pretty pissed off at the patriarchy for not embracing equality and the ways of Cleopatra. So we've got feminist awesome, baby. And I kid you not, feminist awesome, rogue son of Cleopatra. So
he's been an ally all this time.
Yeah,
100%.
What did you guys think of this? I love this. I
loved it too, and I loved how they like changed history just a little bit, like. Yeah, because like according to history books, she poisoned herself, right? I love how he like switched it a little bit to that painted it.
They faked it.
It was great. It was great.
We need the Department of Truth to get in on this shit. That's what we need. But
that would be an awesome crossover. Holy shit! Yeah,
I'd be there for that. But no, this was really cool the way they changed it. And, like, I don't know if like the Cleopatra thing like inspired like the Mummy movie, like the Brendan Fraser one. But I was thinking that's
what I was thinking about too. I swear to God, I was literally watching the Mummy earlier today because I was introducing it to my girlfriend who's never seen it. Obviously, it's one of my favorite films. I just love that movie. It's just a fun action classic. Exactly. So. And I was just like, this reminds me a lot of the Mummy, but like a fresh take on it. You know what I mean? But it's like I don't know if that's what he had in mind or whatever. But I just loved it. I loved every bit of it. I was like eating this shit up. So yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. Just love the little focus on awesome this issue. Like I
just 2 pages, but 2 pages. He's told so much.
So much story. Yeah, like so much about his character, even just like his movement. And that's what I'm saying. Like the team is perfectly in sync because there's so much like idiosyncrasies that come down to each character with like their little twitches or movements or like the facial gestures to make. There's some tells they have. And I just love that. I love how in sync they are, the whole creative team.
I just hope we get similar, even short stories just like this for the other ones, especially Rune. Rune, is that her name? Rune?
Yeah,
I think so.
And I just want to say it's so nice to have like a roguesun issue in October. I feel like it's the perfect month. Like it just fits perfectly with everything. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, Asim, we get the backstory and what looks like the potential end of Asim. It's awesome? Is that the pronunciation? I'll go with you.
Awesome, yeah. It's hard to, it's like a throat thing. Yeah, that's awesome, yeah. Which is funny. Okay, awesome. That's why we laughed about it, yeah. But
awesome.
Cool. Yeah, but Owen just intervenes and he whacks Awesome to the side. So I don't know if he's dead or I don't know what the hell's going on, but
I don't think they can die.
Yeah, I don't think he's probably just knocked out or like
I don't think he's gone. Definitely not. Also, we learned that Grandpa Bell is a Bengals fan and had to fight to make a reference. Like he should be in a podcast. That'd be fun.
but like, what did you guys think of this big reveal that the Owen's a good guy?
Well, at least less bad than we thought.
Well, he's also but we get like it's not just like that. He's he did the play and like ended up saving them, but it was also that he actually loves Marcus and
I think
he's been protecting him but trying to shape him into the best roguesun ever, and that he's super proud of him, all that, but he's like there's too much shit under the bridge for them to reconcile their past. What did you guys think of that big reveal?
I think it stays true to kind of the first arc or the spirit of the first arc of the book where broken families and how like these behaviors repeat themselves down the family line, and if it doesn't change, it just keeps creating kids who hate their parent or who hate their fathers. So it's interesting having Owen say this to Dylan with the small chance that he can be friends with his father's ghost.
Yeah, it really fits in with the the lore of the book of like if you think I'm bad, wait till you see what raised me, and like just like what forms our lives, like the parent and parental figures, usually mostly fathers. There's a lot of mothers in this, but like the impact that can have, like why are they hardened, and like people raising the younger generation thinking they know what's best, but is it the best way to survive in the present, right? And why people are the way they are, and why their ideology and why they do things they do. So like I like it. It made sense. He's like, and he says he can't even tell Marcus that he thinks he's the best roguesun, the best of them all. Right. I like that touch. It was really well done. Like Ryan nailed the dialogue and everything in this issue. Like you had a lot of landings to land, and like I can't find a blemish in this book.
I agree. And yeah,
does this redeem him? Does this redeem him to you guys?
I think in a small sense, because I'm gonna explain this later as the panel comes, because it hasn't come up yet, and I don't want to spoil it. But in between, because we take a break from there and we go back to Caleb and the others who are planning their.
All right, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about. We'll get to it later.
So we see the others, the alliance that Caleb forged with the inmates he released. But as they get closer to where they need to go, there's a protective spell that's making
That's their
Lord
house.
Bryson throw up.
That's Marcus and Juliet's house.
Yeah, as they're getting to the Bella State, there's a protective spell that's making Lord Vythan throw up. So obviously the spells all over, and magical claymores, if you will.
Starbucks cup.
And then we see. What did you guys think of this? I didn't put a picture of this. I don't know why. I guess I just. When Dottie shows up out of the shadows with a full roguesun equipment, like she's basically Rogue Dottie.
That's fire. In the literal and figurative sense.
Probably the most jaw drop I've had, like flipping a page of any of the Massiveverse books in a minute. Like it's like, whoa, I did not expect that she has the power, and like that's the sword, right? That's the blade
Hellbent.
Did you guys notice that? So one thing I really want to credit, because I don't think they get enough love. I didn't put the pictures of this, so shame on me. But okay, well, there's a little bit of example on the next slide, but when you pay attention to the story, Ali, I guess you have your book there so you can show it off. The lettering is different for each magical character, like from the family. So when you see like or not all of them, but most of them, like Reverend Death, his bubbles are all red on the inside. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at Rogue Dottie's panels, they're black and then they're on fire. And I'm just like, bro, I just love it. Like it's just incredible. Like that's such a nice touch. Like I love it. So yeah, go back to Carrie. Go.
It carries through with the rest of it too, because Matt said he was shocked just seeing Dottie come out with the sword, right? And you flip the page and you get like double the shock of seeing the rest of the family,
the Bell family,
with all those like not rogues, but the other rogues gallery's powers.
And Hunter's just.
That's what I'm saying. So I wonder what.
Hunter's just hanging out there, just chilling, like he's like Red Hood after like he's like ruined the whole family or something. Like what?
Wait, do you think they siphoned their powers? Because that's what.
Yeah,
happened,
I don't think they're there. Like I don't think Hunter is physically there. This is kind of like when Dylan sees Marcus or Dylan sees Caleb. I think it's that kind of thing. Like they just took their powers.
Did they like take over their bodies or something? Kind of like Caleb did. I don't know. Because
no, it doesn't look like it. Because like. Ori doesn't look like Demonica, neither does Dottie. Dottie still looks like Dottie.
That's true.
Yeah, probably
I think they just took their powers somehow.
Yeah. Isn't this amazing though? Like just seeing this, been like, whoa, dude! Like seeing freaking
it's badass.
Brock as fucking Billy Bloodmoon. It's just like it's so funny, and like his powers. And then
you gotta watch him. He'll go like attack one of his bullies like right after this is over.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. And then just like seeing the mom, Juliet as Cataclysm. So she has Gwen's powers, and I'm just like, bro. And then seeing Ori as having Demonica's powers. But I just want to say, like, there's a creepy little scene where like you can see that they can all hear the people that they're siphoning their powers from. So it's like Brock's talking to Billy, Ari's talking to Demonica. Like, so it's like, is this like a deal? Maybe they loan them their powers and they'll let them go if they win or something like that. I wonder. Like,
honestly, maybe we really have no idea what like the stipulations of this is. We don't know.
Also,
true.
I've got a theory. When we saw Hunter, I've got a theory that like Hunter's a very suspicious name to give him. Like, do you think like Hunter might be able to be redeemed and he'll be hunting down demons? Like, with the Hunter name is a little on the nose, but like the demons like ruined his whole life and like got his dad corrupted and then him. I can see Hunter being like a demon hunter, getting out of there and wanting to change things up on there. That's just a little thought I had. I don't know.
That's pretty cool.
No, I like that.
I would like redemption for him. Yeah, I think like if he had a slow path to redemption, that would be pretty cool. Like explore that and like how he can make up for the fucked up shit that he's done in the issues and in his life. Because he's done some damage, bro. First thought he did when he got the thing was to be a drug dealer.
He killed Reggie too, didn't he?
Yeah, he killed Reggie.
I'm not saying full redemption, but definitely like okay, you can do something with what's left of your life.
Right.
But yeah, no, this was badass. Like this is the kind of shit that happens at the end of an arc. We're doing this in like issue 16. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, and that's where we see one of the biggest moments because Rune the Viking roguesun actually takes Marcus's sunstone and shatters it. So that's where we get another big moment, which you knew was just a setup for something horrible that's going to happen, because right as Rune does that, Owen Bell runs up with Dylan, and he shoots Rune in the back with his gun. Rune is temporarily immobilized while freaking Owen takes his sunstone and gives it to Marcus. And he says, I don't care. Marcus says, I don't care why you're doing this, but you're not coming with us. And then Owen said, like, you could stop me if I wanted to. And then Dylan's like, adults. And that's where we see all the rogue sons just charging at them. So I just want to say, this moment where he gives him the sunstone, I think, based on what he said earlier, could be his redemption, depending on how things goes. But I will say, for the sake of argument, that it is his redemption in a small sense, because he gives him and Marcus the ability to rekindle their relationship, and he tells them the truth, which can give them healing if it's like, delivered correctly. It could give Marcus a sense of closure and finally give him something to work towards with Dylan. So I think, in a sense, he does redeem himself, because he saves them and he gives Marcus the sunstone. So it's like he really did end his life, at least in doing what he believed in, which is like Marcus and his family. So yeah,
this was such an Obi-Wan death. Like, I feel like you strike him down, he's coming back more powerful. Like, it's basically like he knew it was happening too. Like, he could have got away, but maybe he just wanted his redemption and that was it. But I do like what you said. Like, he did everything he could to help with what time he had in the situation, right?
Mm-hmm. And he died doing what he believed, like,
And I think that proves that he's not a total asshole. Like, there is some.
No, but did you guys feel like the horror of that moment? Like when you saw Rune in the one panel, just like sneaking up behind him, like here.
Oh yeah.
I was scared to flip the page from what he says, like, well, shit, because I thought like we were gonna see heads rolling. It was still pretty bad, but
he looks like Eddie Brock. If Eddie Brock, like old man Eddie Brock, were skinny.
Right.
That's what Owen Bell looks like.
Yeah, I think Rick Grimes a little bit too. Old man Rick a little bit.
Yeah.
But I love, dude. That final page is brutal. That final page is just freaking brutal. It was just
He's
like the axe, like decapitating him. Yeah.
So they can die in the sunstone. So now, like,
him in half.
Yeah. His soul is dead, right? They could die in the sunstone.
What? He gave up his sunstone. So to Marcus.
Didn't he say something about souls though? Like a couple pages back. I'm gonna look for it. Like he says.
I think it was in the last issue. I think they said something in the last issue that if you die here, your soul is gone forever, or something like that. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think it was that. Yeah.
One sec. Well, yeah. Keep going. I'm just looking for one moment.
Yeah. Here's the Owen gives his sunstone slide, which we excitedly talked over. And then the final slide.
We said it, but there's so much going on. It's okay if we.
Look at that. That's brutal, though, bro. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's amazing.
I'm sure the Owens of the community are going to come together against this Owen smearing that's happened in the Massiveverse recently. It's just like a lot of Owens getting damaged.
I think I found it too. Marcus says you call it a soul if you want, but everything is energy. If you break it apart, the energy fades, absorbs into something else, and then you're gone forever. So, yeah, I think he's legit dead forever.
The line right here that he says in this issue, he goes, "Now my real soul is probably in hell somewhere for everything I've done." Right? So, I mean, I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't know if that's like a line or not, but that could be like, hey, maybe there's like the dark part of it. Maybe his soul split or something like that, and the good part's up here. And the bad part went to hell, and we have like the shit, like the worst father will come at the end. Like that'll be the big boss of roguesun. It'll be the worst father of all time or something. It'll be like Hitler's dad and like who knows who else. No, I'm just kidding. Who knows? But no, the idea that Ryan listens to this while he writes for ideas, obviously he won't be using any of those ones. But no, he might be gone, but there's a baseline where anybody could come back. This looks like a good final point for him for sure.
Yeah, and I'm glad we got to meet him too, because I feel like Ryan could have easily done the whole story without ever meeting Owen. So I'm glad we got to touch on that story thread.
Yeah, if that's closure for it, I think it's good and it's well done, and we can fill in the blanks ourselves. Like this, among other things, like god damn, a lot happened in this issue. Like seriously, I'm impressed.
Yeah, and then one last thing before we let everyone go is make sure you check out roguesun number 17, which is on FOC this week. Roguesun is obviously a Massiveverse series, and it's the one that this podcast is focused on. The next issue has another cover by Luana Vecchio. It says, "Still trapped in the Sunstone, Dylan's freedom is finally in sight, but who can he trust to help him escape? And as the battle outside rages across New Orleans, can he get back in time to save his family?" Obviously, this gorgeous cover A right here from Luana Vecchio, just love it, and you can finally see they added the Massiveverse thing under the eye. Love all these covers that she's been doing. Got this incredible cover B of Demonica by Baravekia. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Yeah, look at that. Holy shit. That's the streak of the villain variants they've been doing. And then we have a cover C with The Walking Dead. And obviously there's Michonne in the background. And these covers are connecting because Stefano Simeone did the connecting covers between all the titles. So obviously, I feel like it's a pretty apt cover that's on point given the zombie theme in this issue, which makes it just a little bit sweeter with Reverend Death and everything.
The synergy
I can't wait. Oh, yeah. I can't wait to pick this up. FOC is October 23, guys. So you have until Monday to pre-order this book. Please get your orders in. It's a fantastic book. There was so much awesomeness this last issue, and we want to see what happens with the Bell family. Are they all going to get permanent powers, or is something going to change? Will they come closer? Who knows? But again, I just want to give credit to the creative team. Sorry.
I love this issue. Like I would give it like a 9.2 or something like that. Like, and I've did the one read of it today. But yeah, I'd say 9.2. Like I can't find a flaw. It had action. It had suspense. It had stakes. It had character drama. It had tight writing. It was funny too. We didn't even talk about the great jokes in this. Like it was a great, like, this is what I read comics for. This is what I look for in any entertainment. And I think they nailed it.
Yeah. Honestly, if you're not reading roguesun, what else are you reading? Get started. Like it's so good right now.
Yeah, and follow the roguesun pod because we're doing a crazy amount of giveaways. We've got stuff to give away that you're gonna want to get your hands on. The contests are really easy to enter, and you just follow the rules, and they're pretty regular. So follow the Twitter.
Speaking of, let's do a giveaway soon. So obviously, Ryan, we talked about it, sent us some amazing things to give away, and we want to give away another one. We will be giving away a roguesun incentive. We'll pick one from a random one from the pile and post about it on our social media. But when are we going to do that? Well, let's see. So on YouTube, we're at like I think like 50 something subscribers, right? Once we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to be giving away one of our roguesun incentive variants signed by Ryan Parrott. And on top of that, to celebrate the end of the arc, we'll give away one of the more recent trade volumes once it comes out. I don't know if it's one more issue or not, but
not sure. I don't think they've solicited the trade at all. So
yeah. So yeah, roguesun podcast. We're at 53 subscribers on YouTube. Once we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to give away the one of the roguesun incentives signed by Ryan Parrott. And then we'll also do another giveaway during Halloween or sometime around Halloween when we have a special roguesun event planned coming up.
Definitely. And I feel like this is Ryan Parrott adjacent. You guys probably mentioned in the live stream, but I do think it'd be cool if us, just for people that strictly listen to roguesun, Ryan announced at Comic-Con, or it was announced that they're doing The Infernals, which is a new title from Ryan under Image. And it looks amazing. Mm-hmm. No one does supernatural family drama better than him. And this includes the son of Satan. So you know it's going to be good. So The Infernals, February 2024. Keep your eyes open.
Yeah, I'll share the article. I couldn't find like a really good article to share, but we'll talk about it real quick. So yeah, here's a bleeding cool article showing the announcement about the Infernals. We got Ryan Parrott, Noah Gardner, and John Pearson launching a new comic with letterer Hassan Atsman Alha, who feels like he's lettering literally every book in the market these days, which is awesome because he's an awesome letterer. I love the cover. I love this cover. I'm definitely going to be checking this out. And I just want to say immediately, I was telling the guys, this reminds me so much of like Department of Truth's abstract arts, the beginning with Martin Simmons, or like Hellblazer, for example, or the early Hellblazer. So I really can't wait for this. Are you guys going to be checking this out?
Absolutely.
Of course. I mean, it's probably pretty soon to say, but like Ryan should be able to have the title. His fans should be called Parrot Heads. I'm saying it. They're going to Jimmy Buffett. Like I fought to make the not make this joke for like 50 podcasts, but yeah, I'm a parrot head. Like this guy just gets it, and he's got this grit to his writing. Like the dial, there's like the no bullshit that you see in Invincible. Not saying every other comic has bullshit, but just like the dial that just hits. Like no time to dance around it. Like just the kind of stuff like that slice of life stuff that like I would hear in a regular conversation and immerses you into the art or immerses you. And like this is amazing. And don't miss out on this. Ryan's a killer, and I know he's got a killer team with.
Agreed. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah, the art looks incredible. So I really can't wait for this book coming out February 2024. Make sure you get your pre-orders in. I think it'll probably come up for pre-order now. If not now, then in November. Lots of good books. And then there's also, is it Moon Man by Kyle Higgins and
Kid Cudi,
and
which is great.
Cudi and
that was not on my bingo
Igor
card.
Monti's on that book.
Yeah.
Marco Locati, I think.
You can tell Igor's on the book from that one of those covers, and you have his palette that's like crazy insane, and you won't find
absolutely.
Anywhere.
Yeah, so it's an exciting time to be a parrot head, trademarked Radiant Matte, trademarked.
So, Jimmy Buffett sue me. No, I'm just kidding. I know. R.I.P. Cheeseburger in paradise. You know he's eating every cheeseburger. He can give the parrot mantle. Like he can pass on the stone. To Ryan of like you are. Okay, I'm done. That's it for me.
So parrot heads, make sure you check out the roguesun podcast where we talk about all things roguesun. You can find us on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. And if you enjoy this podcast, please take a chance to write a review. It really actually helps us out. But yeah, thanks for joining us today, guys, and we'll see you next time. Go Rogue.